Hi, my name is Josh Jensen. I'm an abstract artist, and I'm here to teach you about how to balance composition in abstract art creations. Essentially, composition is the structure of the piece. What we're hoping to do is we're hoping to let the eye move around within the work. And we don't want the eye to get stuck, and we don't want it to sort of go off the side and sort of stay in one spot. So a good composition lets the viewer breathe through the experience. If you track your eye movement, you'll notice that it moves around the piece in all sorts of interesting paths, and there's room for it to move around. Things to consider is to think we want the right amount of order and the right amount of chaos. Too much order and it becomes stale and boring in a sense. And then too much chaos leads us to feeling disinterested or unable to enter into the piece. So we want a little bit of both. So in the piece that I've brought here, we see the smallness of it is part of what its beauty and its power is, but it can only say so much. So we see that there are some lines here behind the paint that guide us up. These pinks here point us down, which lets us go over here. These lines here send us back this way. And again, some of these zigzags let our eye sort of move freely around it. Empathy, the word we use in English, was actually developed as an art history word, and it meant that the person who viewed the art actually experienced something in the piece in their body. If you saw a great canyon, a landscape, they would actually watch people who would come up to a Bierstadt landscape painting, and they would see the piece and they would start almost lifting as they looked at it, because there's a grandness and a majesty. There's something about it that makes us feel something towards it. Hard lines and soft lines. Hard line essentially stops the eye or guides the eye in a certain direction, whereas a soft line blends or shades to some extent where your eye can go. Examples over here are very hard lines. See how crisp and sharp some of these lines are here. This directs us very firmly so we don't speed off the edge of the canvas. Whereas here, there's soft lines. So this being soft, much softer than here, and this up here being maybe the softest form, or even the texture here, which creates even the softest line. One of the ways to determine if your composition is working is by trying to view it in lots of different ways. So if we imagine that this is a very large piece, and I'm trying to work out the composition, what I might do is I might rotate the piece like this. So the experience of seeing this is very different by seeing it this way. And what I sometimes do is I continue to rotate the piece and see it from different angles. However, still because of this mark right here, I find this is our strongest orientation, because this gives a sense of grounding, not only because it's dark, it has more value, but also because it's green, and green, as our mind associates with a landscape, with grass. Keep in mind your associations visually with all sorts of elements of your piece. So please join me for this Domestika course. I think it'll be a great adventure and a lot of fun.